Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal back with a new podcast. We are on the 76th podcast of the Mr. Informal podcast. I am Mr. Informal. I hope you're doing great today. It is almost September, almost Labor Day. Where has the year gone by? I felt like I did not do anything with my life. In any case, here are the 4 topics for this podcast. So, Facebook is going to hire journalists to curate their upcoming news tab. Are they going to be called journalists, reporters? It's going to be hard to find good journalism these days. Number 2, Tiffany and Company is hoping to tap into the market on men's. Yes, they will create their own men's line. Number 3, what's the deal with this rising subscription boxes in fashion? Would it be the Trunk Club? Would it be Babbitt Fun? Would it be all these types of subscription styles? It's gonna be interesting. And then number 4, well, DoorDash has recently been in trouble, but they made plans on their workers' pay. So let's talk about these delivery tips. You know, those Uber deliveries, DoorDash, Posted, all those stuff. In any case, those are the 4 topics for today's Mr. Informal podcast. Don't forget to add me on Instagram. That's MisterInformal. And then my website, mrinformal.com. That's MRINFORMAL.com. And so let's go ahead and start the podcast. So I'm not sure if you know, but Facebook has been getting into a lot of legal troubles, a lot of public outcry regarding their new currency and also their privacy issue. So Facebook has announced on August 20 that Facebook will hire veteran journalists to curate their upcoming news tab features. So when you log into Facebook, you go to their news, and then that's when you get all these news that are curated by journalists. So I don't got a problem with this, but my problem is that will it be one-sided? Will it be balanced? Will these so-called journalists be actually provide us a balanced news tab, which means one side news and then another side news? It's not show it to the news tab because of clicks. Now stop clickbaiting these things. Let's talk about real news. Let's talk about poverty in different countries. Let's talk about the kind of changes in this country. Let's talk about buildings. What can we do with the homeless? What can we do with low-income people? Is there a new building? How will this affect us? What about public transportation? What about public corruption? What about officials? Since 2020 election is coming up, let's talk about what kind of these officials or these candidates had to provide to the public. Let's talk about that. So my opinion is, I think it's just going to be one-sided journalism. It's one-sided news, where the kind of news that you would want to be outraged by. I mean, there's probably going to be some good inspiring news, but at the same time, it's all going to be some bad type news, or something that will make a lot of people want to comment on it. Just one of those types of news. And like I said, Facebook is obviously going to watch over what kind of news you're looking for. And then those type of news will cater to you. And so, I mean, all I want is what I see, what I should be seeing in a world where you got one type of news and then you got another type of news. Let's talk about journalism. Let's talk about reporting here. And let's not just talk about gunfires, or let's not talk about Trump. Let's talk about other candidates. And will Facebook do that? I don't think so. Heck, CNN has been in trouble. They used to be the most trusted news site in the world, but apparently not anymore. I mean, I don't even hear that slogan anymore. So, veteran journalist, huh? Well, we'll see. Hopefully, it's not something they could get from the New York Times, because the New York Times is also one-sided. So, on to the second topic. So, Tiffany and Co. Tiffany and Company. And so, this is something I do not understand, right? So, recently reported that according to CEO Alessandro Bogliolo, is that they want to get into men's jewelry market, which is a $5.8 billion industry. So here's my problem with this. Why has Tiffany only noticed this now? I mean, men obviously wear jewelry. It is not a secret. It is a known fact. You can even say that watches are men's jewelry. There's also men who wear earrings. There's a lot of men who wear bracelets. Hand bracelet and also ankle bracelet. Men also wear rings. I mean, I just don't understand why they're just thinking of this right now. To me, this is such a late response from Tiffany and Co. And I really hope they failed. I mean, look, they'll have the cachet, they'll have the name. There is no doubt that there will be men who will shop at Tiffany and Co. But at the same time, it is a bit late to even get into the men's market. I mean, why do you think Rolex been doing so well? I mean, look at the watch market. That should tell you that it's bigger than you think. And for you to even think that, oh, we should not go into this market. Are you kidding me? So the range will be bracelets, necklaces, cups, and obviously, rings, and maybe sunglasses. I would not be surprised that sunglasses can be jewelry. And so it goes on and on. And it's such a disappointment that Tiffany and Company is just doing this. I mean, they were probably thinking, oh, women's is enough. Well, apparently not if you're gonna go to this type of market. And Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Bottega Veneta, Goyard, they've been on in this market for a while now. Like, I'm not even gonna be surprised if it was for a long time, because Louis Vuitton was mostly for men's. But in this case, me personally, actually hope Tiffany and Co. Fails, and maybe they'll do another run so they can learn from their mistakes. And whoever is the CEO is just, man, I'm sorry, but this CEO would not last. Because if this CEO is just thinking of this now, or whoever the previous CEO, they should not last, because apparently they're making a big mistake by not tapping into the men's market. This should have been done in the year 2000, or maybe 10 years ago, a decade ago, whatever you want to do. But 2019, heck, they might not even produce one. It's most likely 2020. So you're telling me you've lost, 30 to 40 years of market? I mean, who messed this up? Did any of the board of directors or anybody in the design room, or even an assistant or a VP told the CEO, hey, we should get into this market because look at how much it's making. It's making about $6 billion in the US. It's a $6 billion industry. I mean, who would have thought? This is just a lack of oversight, a lack of the market needs, basically. I mean, certainly ignoring half of the market. That's just unbelievable. So let's talk about subscription boxes, okay? Well, it's personalized growing. We're looking at Trunk Club, Gwynny B, the Thai Bar, obviously FabFitFun, Frank and Oak, Menlo Club, A Gentleman's Collection, Birchbox, Dollar Shave Club or Dollar Shave Company. I mean, Beauty Fix, even Walmart, Harry's. Look, it's not. We can go on and on. So this is a big market. This is going to be a continuous market. It's a young market actually, and a lot of brands out there are actually getting into it. So let's talk about it. So my main question is this: how long will this continue? How long will this bubble pop? I think it's going to be a long time till this bubble pop. But my main focus on this is we're just going to strictly talk about fashion, not accessories, because accessories is quite simple. With fashion, if you can't wear it, it's going to be hard. So there's going to be a lot of returns, a lot of exchanges, and so and so. So this is what I'm saying. So when it comes to fashion subscription, that sector will have a hard time competing with fashion online retailers and also in store. How do I know? Well, if you can't wear it, no matter if you have a model in the picture, it's going to be hard to determine if it fits. And I know you can return it, but we all know that sometimes it's a hassle. And then when you go to a store, it's better you're there because you can just easily wear it. Now when it comes to socks, when it comes to beanies, those are simple. There's no need for that to return. We're strictly talking about clothes, okay? Clothing subscription. And it's going to be hard to find fits because you have to remember, depending on the fit, depending on the brand, sometimes medium is not the same medium as other brands. Not only that, fabrics are not going to be the same. Stretch cotton denim would be different from 100% cotton denim, so your pants may fit differently and your waist size may be different, so it's going to be different. So you do a lot more research when it comes to clothing subscription boxes compared to online stores or even trying it on. I believe that if you try it on in the store, if you like it so much, just buy it. There's no need to go through these subscription boxes, and that's why I think these brands are gonna have a hard time when they are creating a clothing subscription boxes. And now, well, you have to determine. It's hard because you have to go through a lot of analytical statistics, analytical data. Not only that, you have to cater to what kind of market you're looking for, what kind of customer do you have. So it's a lot of personal lifestyle here for your personal stylist, which is good. That's a great benefit to have. But at the same time, most people are rather would go to the store, try it on, and buy it because they know they can fit it. Not only that, it's there, it's simple, and if they could price match it, I don't see why not. And if they could get a discount, again, I don't see why not. And it's less waste. How do I know? Well, when they ever send you a box, you have a box. In the store, you have the clothing itself, maybe a bag. Heck, you don't even need to bring a bag. If you want to, you can just put it in your own bag, whatever it may be. So it depends on how you see it. But the hardest thing about this, as I always think, is the sizing of it, because you'll never know unless you're trying it on. But hey, technology is getting better and better, so we'll see how the clothing subscription box will do. But I do know that it is growing, so there is no doubt about that. Alright, on to the last topic for today. Well, apparently all these food delivery companies are changing their earnings to the delivery drivers in regards to the tips. So there's a article in Bloomberg. DoorDash lays out new policy on worker tips following outcry. Just focusing on DoorDash. So apparently what DoorDash was doing is that when a customer tips the driver, it includes it in the earnings. It's not an extra. So when you get paid, when somebody pays you, it automatically adds it to your earnings, which means your earnings that you were supposed to get are not included already. And so a lot of DoorDash drivers are not happy about it. So basically in the article it says that the revised policy which the company plans to roll out widely next month includes an increase in base pay for deliveries, which will now range from $2 to $10 or more per trip, and a promise that customer tips will be added on top of the Dasher's earnings paid by the company, regardless of the delivery fee of promotions. The decision to change our model was difficult, Zhu wrote in the blog post published on Thursday, saying that the company's model was built to consider worker feedback. Despite mounting public criticism, we realized we couldn't continue to do the right by Dashers if some customers felt we weren't also doing the right by them, he added. And so that is the reason why. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe that DoorDash was doing that, but now I do. So DoorDash is actually owned by SoftBank Group. Yeah, they are big, huge investors. So the change was due to the fact that it came under fire earlier this year for its policy around customers' tips, which the company sometimes folded into workers' base pay. Wow. So for all the food drivers out there, I just want to let you know, do not turn this into a full-time job. No, this should not be a full-time job. I don't care how many times you're getting deliveries. This should not be your full-time job. It should either be a part-time or it should be just one of those, I'm just gonna make some extra money. That's all this should be. Now, on to these things. Now DoorDash is not the only one, okay? So another company, based on the article, says that, let's see, who else is the other companies? Oh yeah, Grubhub too and Uber did the same thing or similar to it. Why would DoorDash do that? When a tip should be excluded from your pay. I believe that if the driver is giving a tip, it would strictly go to them. Just like Pizza Hut does it, Domino pizza delivery person does it, or even when you go to Starbucks or you go to some other place that gives you tip, it should strictly goes to the worker itself. Why does it need to go to the base pay? No, it should not be. You're not doing the work. Yes, you're connecting people, but who's actually doing the work? These drivers are going through traffic, going through people, bicyclists, skateboarders, scooters, all these external factors that may block them from delivering on time. Could be the weather too. No, I believe that these tips should be excluded from the base pay, because the base pay would usually have fees on them that DoorDash collects or Uber collects. So if they are getting tips, why not? Why should it be going to these companies if they're not actually doing the physical work? But in some cases, it's good that they are finally changing their ways, and the good thing about these dashers, these drivers, actually complain, and even the customer complained too. And so I'm glad they made the change, and I'm glad these companies are noticing the change. It's not fair that you're including the tips on the base pay. No, screw you. I did the actual work. But hopefully it works out for everybody. And so that includes the Mr. Informal Podcast 76. I hope you learned something today. I did too. And if you have any comments below, don't forget to make some comments. And don't forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL. And check out my website at mrinformal.com. That's MRINFORMAL.com. And so, I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.